What up, Great Nation? Gabe the Great back here again for another video. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying the vlogs we've been doing of the high school team. If you haven't been watching the vlogs, those come out every Friday at 6 p.m. Hopefully you continue to enjoy those as we'll continue to put those out. But today, we're going to talk about one of our favorite topics here on the channel, the WNBA. Yes, that's right. I know a lot of people don't cover the WNBA, but I do, and I want to talk about it today because some things are going down in the WNBA that we need to talk about that I think are important, okay? So let's jump straight into here. Let's hop in the screen. So attendance is down in the WNBA. This is the, I think the second straight season. I believe that the WNBA, they peaked in attendance back, I believe, in like 2017. I believe 2017, they were like at 7,700 average. Then last year, they were 6,700. And then this year, they are at 6,500 per game. It's down 3%, 3.5%, which is very important, okay, and very interesting. Now, remember, okay, there's a lot of people, and I've covered this in my equal pay video. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a card up here somewhere so you can go watch that. Remember, professional sports leagues, they don't make their money necessarily through, or their primary source of income is not through ticket sales. Their primary source of income is through corporate sponsorship, okay? The reason why the ticket sales are important, not only because of money, revenue generated, but also because it can show corporate sponsors that you have an audience that can be built, and there's an audience here for you to market to. Okay, it's the same thing here on YouTube, right? I just don't get sponsorships for uploading a video. I first have to show advertisers that I can build subscribers, I can get views, and then once that happens, then they'll throw me some money. Same thing with the WNBA. You have to show them that you have a fan base, that you have an audience, and then once you show them you have an audience, then that's where the money comes in, okay? But this year, the WNBA is down 3.5% in ticket sales, in fan attendance. Ironically, the WNBA champions, Washington Mystics, they had the largest dip, nearly 26%. Big reason for that was because they just switched arenas. They were playing at the Capital One Arena, I believe. And that one, it says over here, Washington Mystics had a lead worst performance change during the first season at the 4,200 seat Entertainment Sports Arena. They previously played at the Capital One Arena that seats over 20,000. New York Liberty, once again, they had a negative 20% decrease. Now you may be saying, well, they just switched from Madison Square Garden. Yeah, but they switched 2 years ago. So I think New York fans they're just like, basketball just ain't it right now. Vegas was a surprising one, negative 12%. LA, hey, everybody want to go watch LA play, right? LA is always going to bring people out. LA is carrying this league. But they've now crossed 1.3 million fans every year since 2010. They had 41 sellouts out of a possible 204 games. So just about 20% of the time that they sell out, okay? And obviously here you see the thing about the Washington Mystics that's pretty interesting is they were in a 4,200 seat arena, but on average, it looks like they sold about 4,500 tickets. So they could probably be in a bigger arena, but they obviously can't be something as big as a 20,000 seat arena in Capital One. So here you can see how all of them did. Again, LA Sparks, this is interesting, grew by 6%. Had the highest attendance. Phoenix Mercury, they grew. Lynx went down. That makes sense. Maya Moore didn't play this year. Seattle Storm, they didn't have Breanna Stewart. That makes sense. Indiana Fever went down, and Aces, Mystics, and Liberty all went down for a negative 3.5%. What's also going to be interesting, it talks about here, is that the Atlanta Dream will no longer share the State Farm Arena with the Atlanta Hawks. So they still don't know where they're going to play in Atlanta. So that's going to be interesting there. So this is very interesting, and I'm going to come back to this in a second, because the other thing that I want to talk about is the TV ratings. The WNBA, they got a deal with CBS this year, a new deal with CBS that broadcasted 40 games. They got an ESPN deal, and I believe those are their two big TV deals. But with all that being said, the WNBA had the smallest finals attendance, smallest audience in 6 years. The WNBA finals averaged the smallest audience in 6 years. Okay, they averaged 381,000 viewers during the finals, which is down 21% from last year, and 32% from the Lynx and Sparks, which was a really good series a couple years ago. The playoffs were down an average of 24% this year. Okay, they were down 24%, which is very interesting. Thursday's Game 5 had an average rating of a 0.27. Now, if you don't know anything about TV ratings, that's very, very bad, okay? In general, anything under a 2 could potentially be cancel territory. Like if you're talking about regularly scheduled programs, right? If you're talking about This Is Us, The Good Place, like all these TV shows that come on a regular basis, if they dip below a 2, they're in cancel territory. The NFL, I know as NBA fans, we like to believe like we got the most popular sport in America. Just not true. The NFL blows the NBA out of the water in ratings. I believe they had like their lowest rating either this week or last week, and their ratings were like at 7.8, 7.9. And so they get a lot of views every single week. Football is definitely king in America. But a 0.02 rating for the finals, that's just not good. It's not good. Viewership fell 51% from Game 5 in 2017 and 17% in 2016 Game 5. So to put that into perspective, if you look at the opening night for the LA Clippers game, that received a 2.2 rating. But what's interesting about that was that aired at the exact same time of the World Series. So to get a 2.2 while the World Series is going on is very interesting. It's actually very bold for it's not much they can do about it, because you never know how the World Series is going to be scheduled and things like that. But very interesting. Nonetheless, why is this important? This is important for several reasons. Number one, people always say that, hey, if you promote this league the right way, it will do better. Well, this year they got a deal from CBS. Nike's doing redid all their jerseys. And so they're getting the backing, right? Are they getting the backing of the man? No, but this is why. This is why, right? The theory of, hey, if you give us the promotion, if you give us the money, if you market us, if you give us more, then we will grow. It just doesn't work. And like I talked about my example here on YouTube, I could easily say to YouTube or anybody, it's like, hey, if you give me money, I'll have a bigger channel. Of course. Right? But that's not how sponsorships work. That's not how business work. If you want people to invest in you, you have to show people that you can build an audience. And what a lot of these teams are showing is that they don't know how to build women's basketball in their city. When you go back to, this right here, Minnesota Lynx, Seattle Storm, Indiana Fever, Aces, Mystics, and Liberty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think that's 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 6. 6 of these. So half of the WNBA, they just don't know how to build women's basketball in their city locally. Like they don't know how to get the locals excited about it. And these are all pretty big markets. I mean, it's like surprising on here, like probably Connecticut is like the smallest market, but they grew and they actually had a really good team this year. But all the rest of these are pretty big markets. There's a lot of women in all these cities and a lot of young girls who play basketball, but for whatever reason, they are not coming out to the games. And so, you know, I've said this for a very long time. I've talked about the WNBA for a very long time on this channel. People just don't know how to market women's basketball. They just don't get it. They don't understand it. I'm willing to bet, look, I'm not going to say, I'm not to be down on them, but I'm willing to bet that come a few months of uploading consistently of our vlogs, I'm willing to bet that our high school girls basketball team will have more views than the WNBA. I don't say this to be cocky. I say this because I've produced WNBA content that has, you know, garnered 100,000, 200,000 views several times, you know. And so I think it's just one of those things where they don't know how to market women's sports. And I like covering this stuff and I like talking about this stuff because I don't feel like there's a lot of real journalists in the WNBA media that would actually talk honestly about this stuff. Like, they always want to blame it on society. They always want to blame it on, well, we're not marketed correctly, or you know, we don't have the type of money that the NBA has, or we don't have this, and I was actually thinking about this. I may do a whole nother video on this. When I look at numbers like this, I think it may be a mistake to ask for more of the revenue share. I've covered a video again about this, how the NBA receives 50% of the revenue share and the WNBA receives 23% of the revenue share. Right now, they're in their CBA negotiations, and I believe that the players are going to ask for a higher revenue cap, maybe to go up to 28 to 30%. If they get more than 30%, the league will literally fold. But I don't even think they should do that. I think right now they should focus on amenities, right? Travel, and I think they should focus on healthcare, right? Making sure their retirement and their healthcare, medical insurance, all that is set up. Get those locked in and squared away. And then they got to learn how to promote, market women's basketball. You cannot market women's basketball the exact same way as men's basketball. You just can't do it. I was speaking, and you guys will see in the vlog, I went and spoke at a class at the University of Oregon. And they asked me, hey, is there a difference in coaching men versus coaching women? And absolutely, they're two different. And I don't care what all the woke people want to tell you. Men and women are different. And the way you market a women's products and a women's brand of entertainment is very different than how you market men's brand and men's entertainment. I think the WNBA, they got more exposure this year. I believe that. I think they got more exposure. I think more people know about them, but yet more people are not showing out to games. More people are not watching them on TV. And you know, a lot of people are capping. I see a lot of media outlets, they cap for the WNBA, which I think does a disservice to the WNBA. Because anytime we cap, or anytime we are misleading with information, or we're not honest about women's sports, we're doing a disservice to women. You're basically saying that women can't take the truth. That if we sit down and we actually crunch the numbers, and the numbers show that the league is not growing in popularity, right? That's all you heard all year. The league is growing in popularity. The league is growing in popularity. And then the numbers come out and the attendance is down. And the numbers come out and the viewership is down and the ratings are down and everything is down. Like, what was all that talk all season about the popularity is growing? No, I think you're getting more marketing. I think you're getting more promotion. You're promoting wrong. And people still aren't interested in a very competitive basketball market. And the basketball market is very competitive. But it'll be interesting. I'm going to do another video on this maybe later this week to kind of hit on these sort of things. I don't think the financials have come out this year yet necessarily about how much money they have or have not made this year. I actually think their money, their total revenue is going to go up this year. I still think it's going to be in the loss. Like last year, they lost $10 million. I would say this year is probably closer to, if I had to guess, somewhere between the 9 to 7 range, probably closer to 9. And the reason for that is I just think that they got more money from CBS, they got more money from Nike, and those are the people that actually make the difference when it comes to professional sports. But what do you guys think? Why do you guys think attendance is down? After all season talking about, you know, the WNBA is growing in popularity. The WNBA is growing in popularity. People are excited about it. Why do you think these numbers are down? Why do you think viewership is down? Why do you think the ratings are down? Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Big things coming on the way on the channel and just for me in general. Remember, be great, be grateful. See you next time. Peace.